Hello, everyone. This is the 3 Degrees Podcast. My name is Randy Stone. So glad you're here. So you want to start a ministry. We want to start a ministry. We want to make a difference. There's a need out here. There's a need. There's a need everywhere. I was walking through a prison one day doing ministry. I wasn't living there. I was walking through a prison one day and I was being spiritual. That means I was searching the Lord for who needed ministry and who needed the Lord in this prison. And this old man, he looks up at me and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm searching for people that need the Lord." And he looked at me like I was stupid. And he said, "They all need it." And that's the truth. That is the truth. Everybody needs the Lord. However, he's only going to use you to meet a few people. He's not going to say, "Bob, Susie, John, you have to reach the entire population of the world." That's not going to happen. It doesn't happen like that. You have a certain number of people that are going to click with you. And then you click with those people. You have a vision for that. And you have even in a people group, if there's a people group, you have a set number of people in the people group. There's a subset of the people group. So if you're going to minister to women, well, maybe you minister to pregnant women. Maybe you help them deliver or give birth or something and provide a place for the kids and them to get started. If you're going to minister to women, maybe you have a shelter where they just call and they go, "Oh my goodness, I'm in a terrible situation. Can I get in the shelter?" Or if you're going to minister to men, how old? How old are they? Are they young men? Because dealing with young men is different than dealing with older men. Dealing with somebody in their 20s and they do all kinds of crazy things. But if dealing with someone in their 50s, they do less crazy things, but they have other problems. So we have to be in ministry. You have to be very specific. Who are you who are you there to minister to? Everybody needs this. Yes, everybody does. But the Lord works succinctly. He works directly. He works focused. He works intelligently. That's how he gets things done. And so let's look at a scripture here. This is Habakkuk, however you want to say it, chapter 2, verse 2. He says, write the vision. Write the vision. We have a great vision. We're going to transform the world. We're world shakers. Great. That is fabulous. Fantastic. It's fabulous. Fantastic. I love world shakers. We're going to shake the world. But do you have a vision? Can you write your vision? Can you do it? If you cannot write your vision, you have a happy thought. If we cannot articulate on a piece of paper or on a screen, we have a happy thought. Years ago, there was this minister that said, "What I would do if I had $1 million." And he went to church and he forgot his sermon on what he would do if he had $1 million. But he had written it so many times, it was on his heart. And he gave the sermon. The head of the Armour Corporation, the Armour Foods, was in the audience, or in the congregation at the time. He called him to his office on a Monday. He said, "Young man, I believe you would do what you said if you had $1 million," and gave him and wrote a check for $1 million right there. I think it was John D. Armour. He said it. You have to have a vision. Write the vision. Make it plain. Write it again, and then again. And then again, write your vision. It's almost like you just have to, it becomes part of you. You write this vision so much so it becomes part of you. Now listen, look, it says, and make it plain, not complicated. The vision is not complicated. It's plain. Write the vision, make it plain. Where? On tablets, that he may run who reads it. We're on the move, that he may run who reads it. It cannot be some convoluted, complicated thing. God doesn't work like that. It is understandable by people you are communicating your vision to. So what the vision is, write it, make it plain, that he may run who reads it. The vision is for an appointed time. So the vision is for an appointed time. It has a time. Appointed. An appointed time. Appointed by who? Appointed by God. This is God's vision. It isn't your vision, silly duck. Silly duck. It's not your vision. It's God's vision. So the vision is for an appointed time, but at the end, it will speak and it will not lie. It is no longer, when we're following out this vision, from ministry, it's no longer us speaking, but it's the vision speaking. It is God speaking through us. God is speaking through the vision. And the vision starts to carry out this production of its own, even with or without you. His vision is going to be accomplished in the earth, and it will speak, and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it. Though it tarries, wait for it. Why is it going to tarry? It'll tarry for many reasons. One reason is we're not mature enough. We're not mature enough to handle the vision that we've been given. We don't have the skills, the tools, the people are not in place. Something is not right for the vision to come to pass right now. So it's going to tarry. You still see it. You still have it in your heart. You still have faith for it. Yet it's going to have to wait. Why? It's going to have to wait because you have to mature. We have to get better. We have to grow because it will surely come. It will not tarry. That means it's going to come before you know it once you get your act together. Once you have your ducks lined up, once you're in a spot that you're able to receive it, then you will see it. Then that is the appointed time. That is the appointed time. It's very, very specific. Behold the proud, his soul is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Listen, this vision, these things we have are his. And so the only way we get to know what it is if we get it from the Lord. That takes time with him. We must spend time with the Lord to get his vision. He is not going to hand his vision out to someone who is half-hearted. He's not going to cast his pearls before swine. He made that up. He's not going to do that. He is going to give you the vision as you search him. Then it'll be the vision working through you. There's some things we got to get out of. See, instead of saying we kind of want to, there's a lot of people, I work in sober living, and a lot of people will say to me, I want to kind of do something like you are. Every time someone says, I kind of want to do something like, they don't know what they're talking about. They have not spent enough time with God. There's no vision. Shut it down. Shut it down. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. God knows what he's doing. He can get that vision across to you. It's very specific. You write it down on paper, very specific. He'll get down so he'll tell you the people that you minister to. This is how you do this. And then once you have this vision, once you understand, comprehend what you're supposed to do, get about doing it. Do it. If I were to do sober living, right, I'd go rent me a house because this is what the Lord said to do. I'd go rent a house, and then I'd go find some people that need to stay sober, and I'd put them in the house, and I say, let's roll. Let's do this. But I don't know all the answers, but I don't know the things. That's part of the adventure. It is part of the adventure. When you know what you're supposed to do, you're not conferring with flesh and blood. You're not going, well, what do you think? Should you give to me? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it's the Lord's vision, he'll provide for it. Silly duck. He'll provide for his own vision. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the Lord providing for his own idea? So when it looks like the pressure is on, the pressure is not on, because it's the Lord's idea in the first place. So if you want to start a ministry, go to God. Say, hey, what do you want? What do you want to do? You know, he might even ask you to do something you don't want to do. Go over here. Let me test your heart in this. Can you be faithful with what is somebody else's? Can you be faithful in somebody else's ministry before you get your own? That's scripture. Let's be faithful. Let's be a good servant first before we get our own. That's a good word. That is a good word. Be faithful with somebody else's before you get your own. Once we have this, we don't confer with flesh and blood. We get about doing. We know what God has called us to do. And he gets the glory. That's the coolest part. He gets the glory for it when it works. He gets the glory for it. And then we get to sit back and go, man, I got to be a part of that. I get to, every day, I get to be a part of transforming people's lives. That's my job. I'm just a part, just a portion. We work with many other people. You know, River City Recovery, we work with other people to get the job done. So we have our part where we do the sober living, and then we do some classes and teach people and do some discipleship. But then we also work with an intensive outpatient. Then we work with about 3 or 4 different churches in the area. And then we have some therapists that we're familiar with, right? And so nobody can do all of it. Nobody. If you're going to go into a ministry thing, I'm going to do the whole thing, you're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. You're just part. You're part of the body. You're just part. You're not the whole thing. Ridiculous. Silly duck. Silly. You know, you're just a part. So what we do, River City Recovery Ministries, we're just a part. We're part of somebody. We're part of developing and discipling people. We have our part, and then others have their part. And together, the Lord gets the glory for it. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. So first thing, if you want to start a ministry, you want to do something like that, find out what the Lord's already doing. Get involved in that and learn. And learn what to do. And then he's going to give you your own, that he is glorified, because that's what this is about. That's what this is about. Write the vision. If you can't write a vision, if you can't put what you want to do on paper, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to go back to your face, get back on your knees and figure out what the Lord wants to do. This is the 3 Degrees Podcast. My name is Randy Stone. So glad you stopped by. Hit like, subscribe if you stayed this long. God bless you. See you next time.